Why you got Sack and Juvie tatted on you? They not dead. I wouldn't tat nobody on me that's not dead. 2 days after that, these boys dead.
Well, it just, which one were you close with?
Both of them. Every last one of them.
YNW Melly's whole case just flipped upside down. A close friend finally leaked that late-night murder footage, and what came out has everyone losing it. The streets are buzzing, and the internet can't stop talking about it. This new clip might completely change what we thought we knew about that night, so let's dive into this bombshell that just dropped. These leaked videos surfaced in November 2025 and featured Jacoby Mills, one of Melly's close homies.
Pulled that gun on him.
Saying Kobe pulled a gun on him?
Yep, 5:30 that morning. She called out of work and she called, wait, stop.
And you really
stop.
can't even tell Courtney, I know what.
Yeah, don't say it, don't say it.
That's what she told Mariah too, because that's what Mariah told me. Jamie just called me at 8 and told me.
Melly called her at like 5:30 that morning.
Who was actually there that night. For the first time, we're seeing the raw truth from someone deep inside the circle. But hold up, this ain't grainy cell phone footage of the actual murders. Nah, this is straight up interrogation tape, raw and unfiltered, with Mills spilling details that got everyone's jaw on the floor. This video hits different because Mills wasn't some random bystander. He was there, riding in the red car that followed the Jeep where the shootings allegedly went down. This ain't some "my cousin's friend heard this" situation. This is firsthand testimony from someone who was part of the crew. He knew every player, every move, and saw how it all played out from the inside. To understand why this footage is blowing up across social media, we gotta rewind. This case has had the Hood's attention for over 6 years straight. It all started on October 26, 2018, when two young rappers, Anthony YNW Sack Chaser Williams and Christopher YNW Juvie Thomas Jr., were found dead inside a Jeep Cherokee parked at Memorial Hospital in Miramar. Tragic doesn't even begin to describe it. Now, YNW Melly, real name Jamel Demons, wasn't some random name in the mix. He was one of their closest friends, part of the same YNW crew that had been grinding together, chasing their dreams in Florida's rap scene. They weren't enemies. They were supposed to be brothers who rode together, ate together, and dreamed together. The first story that came out claimed that Cortland, YNW Bortland Henry, drove the two victims to the hospital after a supposed random drive-by shooting. On the surface, it seemed like another tragic case of young artists caught in street violence, something far too common in the community. But as the investigation peeled back layer after layer, everything started crumbling like a sandcastle in a storm. Forensic evidence told a totally different story. Instead of bullets coming from outside the vehicle like you'd expect in a drive-by, the autopsy revealed something shocking. Both victims were shot from inside the Jeep. Even worse, the bullet paths lined up perfectly with the seat where Melly was supposedly sitting that night. Let that sink in. The shots came from inside the same car. Once that detail dropped, the whole story started to twist into something way darker than anyone expected. But the prosecution wasn't playing games. They came in swinging. They pulled out Instagram DMs where someone straight up asked Melly about the murders, and he allegedly replied, "I did that." Shh. That line alone had everyone's jaw on the floor. Prosecutors also dropped receipts linking Melly to the G-Shine blood set, claiming that just 2 days before the killings, he was learning the gang's loyalty oath. Things were getting darker by the minute. The first trial ended in a mistrial back in July 2023 after the jury couldn't agree on a verdict. And ever since then, the case has been stuck in limbo. The retrial's been delayed again and again. Now it's locked in for January 2027. That means Melly's been sitting behind bars for over 6 years without a conviction. Meanwhile, his co-defendant, Cortland YNW Bortland Henry, took a plea deal in October 2025 for accessory charges, and that move shook the whole fan base. Now here's why these leaked interrogation tapes are such a massive deal. The footage features Jacoby Mills, also known as Cortez Tezzy Mills, who's reportedly Bortland's blood cousin. He was one of the people riding in that red car the night everything went down. That makes him close enough to know what really happened, but just far enough away to survive and speak up. These videos were originally recorded back in January 2019, only a few months after the murders and way before most of the case details ever hit the news. That timing matters big time. It means Mills was talking about stuff no one in the public knew yet, details that later turned out to match up. That gives his words a whole lot of weight. But here's where it gets wild. This footage is just now surfacing in November 2025, right as the retrial gears up. That timing has everyone asking questions. Is this a strategic leak meant to twist public opinion? Is it connected to the ongoing civil lawsuits? Or did it just come out now because of the discovery process? Either way, the timing feels way too perfect to be random. The hip-hop world's reaction? Pure chaos. Everyone's got an opinion, from DJ Academics breaking it down online to random users on X, formerly Twitter, arguing non-stop. The streets are split right down the middle. Some people say this video is the smoking gun that finally proves Melly's guilt, while others are calling Mills a snitch, saying he broke the street code just to save himself. It's a full-blown civil war in the culture right now. And here's what makes it even messier. During that interrogation, Mills keeps denying he's a snitch. He swears he's only trying to help his friends. But the stuff he says, way too specific, way too damaging. The kind of details that don't help anyone except the prosecutors. This man didn't just drop hints, he spilled the whole pot of tea. Some are calling it the most explosive hip-hop confession ever. Things are about to get even spicier. If you thought part 1 was wild, brace yourself. Because what Mills actually says in that room takes it to another level. The man basically laid out the entire play-by-play of what allegedly went down that night, and some of it is straight up chilling. He starts off breaking down the studio session from that night, minute by minute, and you can instantly feel something was off. He says they pulled up to New Era recording studio around midnight, but instead of their usual grind and creative energy, everyone was quiet, tired, and acting weird. You could just feel the tension in the air. And in the streets, when you book studio time, that's money out your pocket. You don't waste that unless something serious is brewing. Something about that night was different, and Mills could feel it in his bones. No federal investigation has officially tied NBA YoungBoy to these murders, but the fact that Jacoby Mills even mentioned his name, that's huge. It's got people talking, especially since there were rumors of past street tension between their crews. In the rap game, those kinds of beefs can go from words to war real fast, and once it starts, the consequences can get deadly. Now, whether YoungBoy actually had anything to do with what went down or not, the simple fact that his name got dragged into this case shows just how deep and tangled the politics of hip-hop can get. Mills' statements hit hard because he dropped so many details back in 2019 that nobody outside the case knew. And years later, a lot of it turned out to be true. That's what's got everyone questioning how much he really knew that night. For instance, Mills mentioned that Juvie's thumb was shot off, something that wasn't confirmed publicly until 2025 when lawyer John Phillips released those shocking autopsy photos. He also described the exact spot where Melly was picked up by Fredo Bang, and those details ended up matching perfectly with cell phone location data that came out later in court. It's wild how accurate his memory was about moments that weren't even public knowledge back then. But through all of it, Mills kept repeating the same thing. He swore he wasn't snitching. He said he was just trying to help his friends. Still, you can hear the fear in his voice when he talks about what might happen to his family because of his cooperation. At one point, he even says he's scared they might come after his people for speaking out. That kind of fear says a lot about how serious this whole situation really is. The reaction online has been straight up insane. Social media exploded the second those tapes dropped. Hip-hop commentators like DJ Academics broke it all down, while fans on Reddit, X, and YouTube are arguing non-stop. Is Mills a credible witness or just another guy breaking the code to save himself? It's turned into a full-on moral debate across the culture. And that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating. This isn't just about one case anymore. It's about loyalty and betrayal. Two forces that constantly collide in hip-hop and the streets. There's an unwritten rule that you never cooperate with law enforcement, no matter what. But when your friends end up dead and you think someone close might be behind it, those lines start to blur in dangerous ways. In our final part, we're diving deep into what this all means for Melly's upcoming trial and the ripple effects hitting the entire rap world. This case isn't just about one murder. It's about loyalty, fame, money, and the deadly consequences when all of that mixes with street politics. The fallout is massive, shaking hip-hop from the inside out. The culture's never seen anything quite like this, and the impact? It's spreading like wildfire through the entire scene. The fallout from this case is massive, way bigger than anyone could have predicted, But beyond the legal chaos, these revelations remind us of the real human cost behind what allegedly went down that night. Mills's description of Juvie as someone who just wanted out of the rap life, and his take on the tangled relationships within the crew, paints a heartbreaking picture of young men whose lives were cut short, possibly by someone they trusted the most. It's tragic and chilling all at once. And now that the interrogation tapes are going viral, people are asking some serious questions. Should something this raw, something that captures real pain and fear, be treated like entertainment? Where do we draw the line between the public's right to know and the right of defendants to a fair trial? The internet moves fast, and once a story like this catches fire, it's almost impossible to control. These questions go way beyond this single case. As the retrial approaches, one thing's for sure: those leaked videos have guaranteed that the YNW Melly case will stay one of the most talked about legal battles in hip-hop history. The truth about what really happened on October 26, 2018 might be more complicated than anyone first believed, but Mills's account gave us the closest look yet at what really went down inside that crew. Whether this footage ends up helping the prosecution, getting tossed out, or revealing something completely unexpected, it's already changed everything. This case cracked open major debates inside hip-hop culture about loyalty, money, betrayal, and justice, issues that hit way deeper than any one artist's fate. The streets are locked in, the courts are getting ready, and the culture is still trying to make sense of it all. One thing's clear: this story is far from finished. The shockwaves from these leaks are going to be felt long after the final verdict drops. If you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. There's way more to uncover, and you'll want to be here when it all unfolds.